It's going. Oh, is that kilobits per second?
Yes.
Okay, they're going. They're good. All right. Hi, everybody. This is Sarah, and I'm in my kitchen on a Sunday with Tony, who's sitting next to me having a beer. And I'm going to cast his face today.
Hopefully, I don't die in the process.
There's no reason I would die. So, this is for a project that I'm beginning that involves making, again, a mask, which is what I'm doing. But it's going to have some sensors on the inside that are capable of sensing facial expressions or just muscle movements in some capacity to affect what's going on the outside of the mask. And there's quite a bit more to be talked about in regard to that and the why and the how, but that's not really important right now. What is important is the fact that I'm going to cast him, particularly because he's a perfect mask casting specimen in that he has no hair. There's nothing for any plaster to stick to here, so unlike me, now that I have all this like bang hair stuff going on here, I would have to kind of coax this back with saran wrap, rub some Vaseline on the saran wrap and my hair and get all greased up, and then I would probably look dirty and oily like an artist that doesn't bathe for several days, if not a week after the fact. But him, on the other hand, like, he just has to go home. We can rub him with Dawn, and then he'll be like a little duckling that's been like saved from an oil spill. Hi, Mohammed. Hi. But I'm gonna, before I get started, I'm gonna wait until maybe one or two more people pop in. Where's my thing? There's my live dashboard. Ah, there's four. Four of you are in here. Hi, the four of you that are keeping me company on this lovely Sunday afternoon. But I'm gonna enjoy maybe a couple more swigs of beer before I get into this, because I know once I get dirty with plaster dust and goop, I'm probably not gonna slink over to any other parts of the house to get any food or libations or anything like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Should I talk about the game plan with your face a little bit?
It's up to you. This is your stream. I'm just the casting dummy.
Okay. So the type of mask that I traditionally cast for my Sarah masks goes from the bottom of the nose to the crown of the head up here. And it's just like a one kind of, I don't know, like a helm, like one cracker with the eyes and that's it, I guess the eye holes. And it form fits to the face, but the outside I try to smooth away as many of the features into sort of a amorphous, like androgynous looking biomorphic abstraction, as you do. Hi, Lynn. And, but that's kind of part of a two-phase process. Like, the first thing that I'm going to do with him is, well, first of all, I'm going to put grease on his face. Some, I don't have Vaseline, but this is petroleum jelly-based goop. I'm going to put a thin layer of that on his skin and in his eyebrows so that the plaster doesn't stick to him, and then I'm going to put a thin coating of this stuff on his face, which is basically like cast material. It's the same thing that you break your arm, they wrap you in this stuff like a mummy. And everything that's going to be done on his face is just going to involve this stuff. And once I get it into the shape that I want, like something that covers his whole face, looks proportional, has a little bit of thickness to it, then I'm going to let that dry, and once it hardens enough, I'm going to then pop it off of his face, and then hopefully it doesn't like just destroy your anything.
Hopefully.
I'm just going to scare him a little bit. You'll be fine. You're like the perfect specimen for this. Aw! He's really excited. This is excited for Tony, I can tell. Yeah. Anyhow, so once I pop that off, the second phase of the mask making process is to take that cracker that I form on his head and then mix up some of this stuff. It's called hydrocal. It comes in a carton, and it's basically plaster, but when it dries, it doesn't become heavy and dense like cement. It stays light and airy, and the mask will end up weighing like a couple of ounces versus like several pounds, which I can probably show to give you an idea what I'm talking about. I have one of the, like, I think it's the first mask I ever made back when I was a wee youngling in college. I'm going to be replicating this sort of white stone-looking cracker piece on this guy over here. Looks like that. This is my face, and you can see I smoothed away all of my features. I mean, I don't really look like that, but there's like no indentation hardly between my forehead and nose, and the inside has been painted black, but this innermost layer is effectively the same plaster gauze that I'm about to put on his face. So that's what this is. And then all of that hydrocal is like the stuff that I've kind of chunked on the top of here. So the thing that I'm going to be doing to the mask I'm making now, and I'm going to be doing this for several different people, not just him. I'm going to be making a set of masks that has sensors on the inside that make contact with your face. And one of the things I got in my batch of, what do you call that? Like my play batch?
Your new toys.
My new toys. I got a bunch of sensors from SparkFun to kind of mess around with. I got a muscle sensor, and you can basically adhere these little pads to your muscle clusters, and they sense whether they're being flexed or not. So I'm going to play around with attaching those to certain muscles in either my or his forehead, because again, you stick pads to your head. And see if I can get a response based on whether or not, I don't know, like when you make a surprised expression or flex muscles in your face, whether it registers that things are actually being done in your face. Mm-hmm. And Tony's face, Tony doesn't have like facial expressions though, so I don't know how well that will work. Tony, make a face express. Make a, there you go. Okay, look surprised. Looks like shocked, like something just happened. Like, no.
I told you I have two general things, happy and angry, and that's about it.
Nothing's ever surprised you?
Not really.
We'll work on that. Okay. But anyhow, I'm gonna get started. So down below, I'm gonna switch the camera view to the workspace for today. I'm gonna be standing probably the majority of this time, like doing things to this. This is my palette. This I'm going to aim down so that you can actually see at least a little bit what I'm doing with the goop.
So you need another monitor.
I know. I need like several monitors. I need a recording studio station thing.
Mm-hmm.
I need a camera crew.
Yeah.
No?
No, as soon as you bring in camera crews, everything slows down.
Slower than how I do?
Yes.
So I've been cutting from this bulk stuff right here. Just tiny pieces that I'm going to stick to Tony's happy face.
Mm.
Take a swig of beer if you like before.
Toast.
Before we get into it, I guess I can show this off real quick. The sensors I'm talking about, should I show them?
Sure.
Okay. I have these little pads. These adhere to muscles, I guess. Like, they show them very obviously, like, on the bicep in their examples, but I want to try and stick these to, like, the band of muscles that you have in your head that that there, like when he smiles and stuff and looks surprised, they would read that sort of muscle contraction, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Make the mask side project, make Tony emote. Yes. Is that what you read that made you smile?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my goal for the rest of the night is to just get him to look surprised.
I think that would kind of be counterintuitive because you probably want a baseline like form for the mask shell thing.
But it's far more interesting to have a messed up looking mask and a Tony that is surprised. These are the electrode things that attach to the pads, and then there's all these little like doodads. I think this is the base module that came with the kit. I guess this is the brain. This would be like the Arduino if this was an Arduino kit, but it has the microcontroller on it. And then this is a battery, and then a little LED bar graph that shows you the amount at which you are flexing. Yeah? So this is how much like you're like flexing those surprise muscles. So I could technically take this if I wanted to. And
now I've got an idea for it.
What?
Yes.
What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know. Might be able to sell some.
About for what?
For those gym rat people who are always, well, gym rats.
Well, you can, yeah. I don't know. But I could technically stick this. See these two dots on the back of this? I can put some of those pads on these bumps and then stick it to Tony's like head, and then put this little electrode thing like right here or something. And then if he ever made an emotion, then it would be able to tell me that he's making an emotion because it would show up on this little bar graph thing. So that's like one of the end goals, is to find a cluster of muscles in Tony's face that he uses. Is there like a sarcastic expression that like uses a specific muscle group? I don't know, I looked this up. Apparently we only have like 4 emotions. There's like 4 groups of muscles in our face, head, that are responsible for making them. I'm trying to tap into the ones in the head specifically because I can hide those electrode pad things, sensor, whatever, under the mask. Anything that would go on your actual face, you'd see that and it would look weird because you'd have big dots on your cheeks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow. So that's the MayoWare kit from SparkFun. There's a bunch of other cool things that came with it, but I'm not focusing on the electronics yet, so this is gonna go away, and Tony's gonna get lubed up. So we're gonna lube up the Tony, and he's gonna take off his glasses. Yeah.
Oh damn! Now I can't read any of the chat.
I know. So you guys can tease, and he won't be able to see. Aww. Okay, so I don't have Vaseline, so I'm using triple antibiotic ointment. Yeah, and this is what I used the last time I did this, and it, from what I remember, worked out fine. So yeah.
The torture that Aishi is going to provide. Yes.
You'll be okay. I promise. You'll survive this. You're gonna come out a stronger man at the end of the day. And you're gonna need to shower and wash this feeling away that you're gonna have when I'm done with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so alright, you're gonna need to turn your chair a little bit more so that you're facing me. I might tweak the camera a little bit, but that's okay. Alright. Actually, yeah, you can face that way now. I'll work around you. I can probably
figure that's probably the easiest thing.
Okay.
Just stay put.
It's easier if I can get in front of you, but so, yeah. I'm just gonna get in there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
could have you do this. If you feel that I missed a spot, then you need to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have like one hair, like right here. Oh my god. Oh my god, I have to take a picture of it. Don't. It wants to live.
No.
There's like one hair.
Apparently it's the one that gets missed when shaving.
Oh my god. You wouldn't believe it. I found it. How did you miss that?
Because I shave by feel in the shower?
Look,
Mm.
he has one hair. Wait, am I... Oh, you don't have glasses on. Do you want me to pull it out or do you want me to leave it?
Get rid of it.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's like... Okay, it's done. There. There, you can go in the water. It'll get put back on your face. It will live in your mask. Yeah. They're still awake. Everyone's busy relaxing because it's Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, you can grow hair on the top of your head. You just shave it off. It wanted to live. I feel like I took something from you just now. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, what I'm gonna have you do, I guess I could do it, or you could do it if you want. I'm going to have you leave the crap out of your eyebrows. So take a little bit of this and just rub that, like massage that into your eyebrow. And this is like also helpful, like I've been fighting something, I don't know what, but if I accidentally breathe on him, this is like zinc, like bacitracin zinc, so germs can't propagate on your face right now. So if I breathe on you, you will rightfully survive it. Okay. Yeah? Not what you thought I meant when I said, hey, come over and let me grease you up and shoot white stuff all over your face.
You never said anything about shooting white stuff.
Alright, I said grease.
Mm-hmm.
Come over and let me grease you up. Do you feel like I missed any? Did I miss?
Where is the mask supposed to like go?
It's gonna go to about here. So basically from the line, like the plane that the bottom of your nose makes to the... So I might put a little bit more on your head. Not that I think it would stick. You have good ox oil on your head.
The realm of Polish grease.
You have Polish grease on your head. But there's something extra sure that it doesn't stick. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Vi. Louis says, grease that face. See? Bald heads are the best. I mentioned this today. We've had this discussion.
Mm.
I couldn't be doing this as easily to myself as him, so Tony is my specimen for the day. See, when I do this to myself, again, I get one of those tubs of Vaseline and I just coat my hair with Vaseline and then cover it in plastic wrap so that the mask doesn't stick. But it always does. Because there's no good way to cast my face up to the top of my head without pulling hair out. And as I mentioned before, like the first time I ever did this, I was in art school in Chicago, and I just sort of like attended my first robotics class, like I attended my machining metal class looking like a properly greasy art girl that never showers. Which is kind of partially true, but I don't think that greasy. Does that feel good? Is it enough?
I think that's alright.
Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands off real quick, and then you have a swig of beer or something, or...
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. And Dawn. See, if I was smart back then, I would have used Dawn. What?
Grease is here.
No, Grease! Grease, guess what I'm using right now? Guess what I'm using right now? Guess what I'm using? I'm using Grease to grease up his head face. How are you doing, Grease? Hell yeah. You grease that motherfucker. That's right. Okay, I'm still greasy. This is as good as it's gonna get. It's kind of like when you oil paint, like when I start on that portrait that I'm gonna do of myself eventually, like soon. You just feel like oil paint for the rest of that lifetime, like forever. That just becomes your life. You just feel like you have oil on you constantly for the rest of time, and there's no washing it off because it just sort of smears all over your workspace, and that's just what it's about at that point in time. Are you ready for the first thing? Okay, I'm gonna do the first plastery piece. You should... Yeah? That's probably good. Okay. Oh man, good. Fuck yeah, my fucking favorite. You like this sort of thing too? I really need to like turn off the cursing monitor thing. I don't know why that's even on to begin with. Okay, so I'm wetting the first strip of this shit. So you dip it in the water. Anyone who's ever used this before is probably super familiar with how this stuff works. It activates the plaster that's in the gauze, and then you slap it on. Is that too cold? You slap it on your specimen. And I'm gonna do the seam up his nose, the bridge of his nose first, because that's what you do. Or that's how I do it at least. So I think I've casted it in my own face probably like 5 or 6 times now, and I got a little bit better at doing it to myself. The only other person whose face I've casted other than myself is Mark. I did make a mask of Mark's face and did something similar to him, where he was my specimen for an hour or so while I completely coated him with, oh god, I'm gonna get juice all over you.
Do you want to, like, grab a towel or something?
Yes. Do you want a towel or a...
Like, something to just catch.
You need a bib. Here, I'm gonna put bib.
Yeah.
Bib on the pony. Yeah? Yeah. It's gonna be so fun. So the thing I have to figure out is how much space these sensors are actually going to take up on the inside of the mask after I cast this as a base. The nice thing about using the casting material is that since there is gauze in the center of this stuff, I can actually bend and distort the end product quite a bit until it's exactly... It accounts for the amount of extra space I want to have on the inside, but it will still loosely fit specifically Tony's profile. And since this is going to be his mask, it should fit him. So I will be doing this whole process again to myself in the near future. Probably not this week. My birthday's next weekend, and I don't want to look like a greasy Pollock for my birthday, although I think that's difficult to help. But I will be making one of these of my own face, the new Sarah face. I should be casting your mask wearing my mask. Yeah. That would be festive. Maybe when I do the second layer, I'll put my mask, the first one I ever made back in college, on, and then I can dance around you like the mask maker in the mask maker's mask and complete your face. And then we can pop this thing off of Tony, we'll shuck him out of it like a cracker, and then we're gonna clean you like a little duck from an oil spill. Yeah? How does it feel?
Cold and wet.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Cold and wet?
Mm-hmm.
So, the cool thing about masks, and I think I talked to somebody about this recently, but when you put on a mask of something, like an animal or whatever, or like another person, or like a devil or a demon or whatever, the longer you wear it without really noticing it, you start kind of taking on the characteristics of the thing that you're wearing. So if you're like wearing a pig mask or like a crow mask or a devil mask or something like that, devil mask will start acting more fiendish or deviant. You start sort of becoming the character that you're wearing. You assume that role, and then once you take the mask off, that doesn't go away. Like it kind of stays with you forever. So it's kind of like you're installing another persona into yourself by having worn the mask. I think that was the dose that had your one hair. Yeah. It's going back to you. I need to get to the point where I'm going over your eyebrows. So just letting you know what I'm doing. So you don't freak out or something.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't like show emotions or anything like that. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody in the chat casted their own face before?
Like you're reading the chat.
I can check it in. Yeah? Release agent. So Mark is getting his passport picture printed at his parents' place. But the way that his parents' place works is when he goes over there, they have him fix something that's broken. Like probably the printer that he's going over there to use. Yeah. So he's probably stuck over there right now because he left, I think, over an hour ago at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And we've just been sitting here drinking beer and getting set up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just gotta grease up. Yeah, and cake it on. Tony,
Mm-hmm.
God agrees. Set up. Yeah. It's easy.
Yeah. There are nacho fries.
Well, you didn't eat them yet?
I had some of them.
It's gonna go across the nose.
Bad tacos are better with cheap red wine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hooray for cheap red wine. Who had cheap red wine this weekend? I know at least one person in the chat did. I'll check the chat in a minute. I'll tilt the screen up again. I'll wipe my hands on Tony's bib. I should call this stream soul collecting, because I feel like that's what I'm doing. Oh, cool! Me and my dad done this. We made lost wax models for making aluminum masks. That's awesome! I want a metal mask. That's like Man in the Iron Mask style face helm wearing. Like, did the metal mask, obviously it conformed to your facial features. But this is definitely bringing back memories. Cool. Yeah, Woven said, yeah, they did it with plaster, and I hear you. Like the first one I ever made, I used a actual like more traditional plaster to coat on top of this, the cast like fabric casting material, and it did end up weighing quite a bit. The hydrocal stuff that I buy now, it's great. It's a little bit more expensive, but once it dries, it only ends up weighing like nothing. It weighs like ounces versus pounds. Ha. We are cloning Tony. Roy Droid says, oh my god, we're cloning. Yes, I'm stealing his soul, Roy Droid. This is soul collecting. When you like replicate somebody's face. Mark is getting an inferior 2D face reproduction. Yes, it is Parents' Place, no less. Aluminum mask sounds like. We had cheap white wine yesterday. Cheap wine's the best. I don't know, like as far as box varieties go, like if you find a good brand, it doesn't really matter. Like we get the black box Merlot, and it's the best cheap juice box. Tofu. And you need smaller pieces for around your eyes.
Mm.
I can probably draw the outline of the top of it. Tony, how do you feel?
Mm. Yeah.
Eh? Why eh?
It's a weird kind of sensation, so I don't think so.
This stuff doesn't. It's not the kind
It's
of thing.
kind of got that like minty toothpaste feel.
Ah. Oh, so like menthol?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's just because it's cold.
Maybe.
No Mark. I think we lost Mark to his parents' place.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's just eating over there. I don't know.
He was having spaghetti when we got here.
Oh, that's right. I don't know. He's leftover spaghetti. Spaghetto. Noodle is still in the living room having his party with his friends. Noodle got to hang out on the couch during Splatfest, which Team Chicken did win, by the way, which is garbage. So I picked Team Egg because that's what Noodle wanted, and he got to kind of sit and watch me, keep me company the entire time that I attempted to destroy children during Splatfest. I tried. And in vain. I never win. It seems like pretty much guaranteed whatever side I pick during Splatfest, the opposite is what is going to win and prevail. And I think that's happened every single time with the exception of last month. So last month's Splatfest was Love and Money for Valentine's Day. And I picked Team Love, and Team Love actually won, which I was actually kind of surprised, given what I know about this rotten, rotten planet that we live on. Tony, what should your mask look like? It's you, so like how should I represent your likeness?
You would know better than I would.
What? What do you mean I would know better than you?
I don't see my own likeness.
What? How does not see own likeness not compute? Let me get this in your ear. Yeah, you bet your time. What do I do? I'm probably gonna get plaster all over my beard. So I want to smear it. So that on that side. So, okay. The nice thing about this is when this is done, I can cut. I can trim back the parts that don't match like symmetrically, so this allows me to make quite a bit of modifications after the fact. I just need your basic like soul shape. The shape of your head soul. So the seam, your head seam. This is actually the first mask that I've casted on a person that goes as high as I want it to. Every time I do this for myself, I only go like probably up to like here. I don't go all the way up to the top crown of the head because that's more hair that I have to jockey the plaster out of like once it's done. But for you, since obviously not a problem, I can just take it as far as I want to. Hopefully you're not allergic to this.
We'll find out. Pull it all off, my face is bright fucking red.
Somebody would get a juice box. And I don't know what else. You'd get a lot. We would figure out how to fix your unhappy face. So Tony's never done this before. No. So I only need to do like, I don't know, like 2.5 layers of this. Not a big deal. Just really, it's not about layers, it's just if it feels thick enough to hold its form once I take it off. Because this will harden.
When you're like smoothing that stuff out, watch where your finger's going towards my eye.
Did I almost poke you? Did I poke you?
You're getting close.
Ox on the prairie. Okay, so the parts that I need to only reinforce are the seams along the top and the bottom edge. so that those don't get deformed once I shuck him out of this. Which you can probably, you're gonna do the majority of the shucking once it's dry.
How long does it take to dry?
I don't know, like anything that's wet in the desert. Not long. You can take the heat gun.
No. Hair dryer wouldn't do that. The gun is a little excessive.
But yeah, Michael sells this stuff called Hydrocal, which I can probably pull out here just to show you. It comes in a yellow carton. If you want to make a mask like this, and you don't want it to weigh like it's concrete or cement or something once it's done curing, I would suggest using it. It dries like really, really super light and kind of porous feeling, but it's still strong, so you don't have to worry about it cracking or breaking or splitting or anything. But again, it is kind of spendy. I'm going to stay on this side of you for a bit.
Okay.
And the rest is the other side of your face is getting way more attention. Tony off. So I'm thinking Tony's mask has to have horns. Yeah? Tony, does your mask have to have horns?
I don't know. Does it?
Makes sense, right?
No. I'm not the fluffy kind.
You're not fluffy?
No.
I'm almost done with layer 1. Yeah?
Okay.
And you can swig here and like move around and I'll cut more strip. I'm gonna use up everything I cut and then we'll let that dry a little bit and then I'll do the second one.
Okay.
And the tiny pieces will go. I have to cut small, like kind of specialized pieces for around your eyes, but I don't really have to do that part on you.
Yeah, I figured that would be a take the mask off, add that material, and then a like trimming back with the Dremel once it's all dried.
I'll probably do what I think looks right and then put it on you and then tweak it on the fly. That sort of thing. So I just need to get like the area roughly around his eyes and enough material on his nose that that holds up once I pop the mask off, because that's kind of like the most important support structure thing for your face. Yeah. Yeah. I love your ear. Totally. So the MyoWare sensors, like the pads, they're kind of like those medical pads that they put on you when you have like an EKG done, like on your chest, where they put all those probes kind of in different places. Same idea. But they have some thickness to them, so I have to figure out exactly how I'm going to go about embedding those in the like forehead area of the mask, wherever the muscle groups are that I'm going to be pinpointing for the, I don't know, the active part of this. But they're not super big, and I might only need one of them on the face, so it's just a matter of figuring out where that one is going to go. How are you feeling?
All right.
Yeah. You need a hug and a loose box after this?
I need a nap.
Oh.
Daylight savings time, so I'm going to sleep like shit.
I've been sleeping like crap because I'm fighting. Whatever it is that I'm fighting. I'm starting to think I don't have strep, Or maybe I'm just in denial over it because I don't want to go to the quick care and I'm rationalizing my way out of wasting a day in the doctor's office. Because, like, right now, like, I feel fine. Like, the sore throat's pretty much gone. And my nose isn't running, and I feel normal. Like, I feel like I'm recovering from whatever I had. But at about 10 o'clock tonight, out of nowhere, the sore throat will come back, and I'll start feeling feverish and feel like crap again. Not feverish, but like weak. Feverish is a bad word. You know that achy, kind of listless feeling like you don't want to do anything? Like that will come back in full force and I won't function as well for the rest of the day. And that's what I want to get rid of. Okay. Alright, look at me, sir. It's really hard. It's like a face massage that you never wanted. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I am. I can say that. I know why I started making masks. I know now. I don't think I did when I started doing it, but it totally makes sense in hindsight. But yeah, I wanted to make this the mask that I showed earlier. Its name is Mirtha, and I knew I wanted it to have a giant like cape of fur hanging off the seams in the back, going down to like mid waist. But I needed to find fur, so I went to all the thrift stores and hipster stores in Chicago when I was in college, looking for faux fur things that were on sale that I could buy for cheap and then pack up and harvest for their fur. I needed black, dirty kind of looking fur, which was a very specific thing. So I went around with my roommate at the time, and we went hunting for appropriate fur for this mask that I wanted to make. And in the meantime, I casted my face for the first time, and I challenged myself to form my base mask into that large kind of amorphous stone slab that I showed you. And it took many, many, many layers of plaster, which hardened and got formed, and then I added more plaster, and then that dried, and then that got reshaped. And I had to do this again and again and again until it eventually kind of became the thing that I wanted it to be. But it took a while. It took several weeks. It was a continuous process. But I already knew what I wanted it to look like when I started. So it was just a matter of kind of banging my head over it until it became the thing that I knew I wanted it to be. But it seemed well in my... It seems like something I could feasibly achieve if I kept at it. And I did, where the mask looks exactly more or less like I wanted it to, it is kind of unnecessarily heavy, and that's the one thing that I'm not particularly happy with. Because I wear it for maybe a half hour and then my neck starts hurting, and it's no bueno. The one that I'm going to make for myself now isn't going to be a fur mask, however. The goal is that the muscle sensors that I am implementing on the inside of the mask, they're going to trigger a reaction with mechanical plumage, that I'm going to create. I live with a parrot, or I used to live with a parrot named Mango. He was the family pet that's sort of been in my life since I was, I don't know, 10. And whenever my parrot was happy to see me, he would puff up all of his feathers around his head. And that was his way of responding to being in the presence of his mommy, or his girlfriend, or his other. And I thought it was cool that he had this sort of response to people, to me, that he would kind of fluff all over when he was excited. And I've always wanted to fluff back at my bird, as dumb as that sounds. Like, in my mind, like, when I'm excited and, like, enthusiastic about the presence of somebody, in my mind's eye, I'm puffing up like my parrot does, but of course I don't do that because I'm a human skin bag and not a giant bird skin bag. And I don't have feathers to do that, so I wanted to create a mask that could actually do this and respond to my facial muscles and poof. This is the poofing mask. But since I am making a mask for Tony's not necessarily bird-like, right? Would you say Tony's bird-like? Tony, are you bird-like?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna have to do something different, which is fine. I'll have to meditate on what it is that how your mask physically responds to you to express to others that you are showing some sort of emotion. Not that happens every day. Okay, I'm gonna cut more strip. You can move around if you like. It's not even yet, but that's every piece that I cut so far.
Okay.
I need to cut more. Have a sip of beer. It's just under an hour. Aw. That's a white. Look at. See yourself?
Not really.
No. Those are you have Plaster.
Mm-hmm.
You look very white.
I'll have to watch the stream afterwards.
Whiters? Wow, it's still light out.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. There you go. Yeah. You can better see the ox.
No. No, I can't.
No?
Mm-hmm.
It's just white.
Mm-hmm.
There's a white. This is a good opportunity for me to look at the chat.
It's like the Batman suntan.
Yes, you definitely look like the white bat Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Batman, but it's like
Albino Batman.
albino Batman mask. Here, cheers.
Toast.
Oh man. The past few days indicate strongly that this red wine I have destroys my sleep. Oh no, that's not good. So I have to stop drinking it. Roy Droid says that their wine is preventing them from sleeping good. That's not good. But on the plus side, at least I figured out what was killing my sleep. Wine is great, but actionable answers are better. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't had red wine this year, I think. Like, I was trying to, like, remember the last time I actually had wine, and I don't think I have yet this year, which is nuts. But I'm trying to cut back in general. Well, Lord Grease, Earl of Maggot says goodbye. Lots of greasy thoughts remind me to upload the aluminum mask I made. Deal. Take care. I'm sure you're already gone by now, but I don't know. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday on Discord. Sweet. She was standing masks. Also, see greasy. I have chicken too. And red wine. Vigray has chicken. Chicken, lo mein, and red wine. That sounds good. Man, we just have beer and we had Taco Bell earlier. Tony has nacho spicy fries. Is that what they were?
Mm-hmm.
Spicy nacho fries? In the fridge?
No.
No? One bag?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, in a bag. I have beer.
It's Taco Bell. It's not like it can go bad.
It can go bad. It can taste bad.
No!
It can taste worse.
You just add more hot sauce.
Feathered raptor frill sounds doable. Yes, this is going to be my raptor frill. It's going to, like, poof out on the sides. So I'm going to have, like, a mechanical, like, skin shearing system that will pull the feathers from being flat, like, to up and then back down again. I don't know how the hell I'm going to actually actuate that, whether I'm going to use a motor or not, but I'll figure it out. We were discussing this in the car on our way to the art store today.
Mm-hmm.
So still a lot of things aren't decided, but that's what I'm working towards. But this, I think as far as this is going to go for now, is I'm going to figure out how I'm going to mount the sensors in the actual mask and where they need to go and what, like, muscle groups they're going to like attach to, and if that even works very well. And to show you what I'm doing, like, working with again, it's a SparkFun kit that you can get from them. It's called the MayoWare Muscle Sensing Kit, and the base module looks kind of like this. There, let me switch my camera view. So this is the base model. It's this little, like, red oval board. You can either attach the muscle sensing pads directly onto these circles on the back of the board and then stick those, like, stick the whole board with the circles on the muscle reference point, and then you attach this little black strand onto the cluster of muscles that is going to be doing the flexing. Or you can use these long wiry cord things if you don't want the circuit board to be anywhere near. And then there's this thing. And this is an LED board. It's basically like a little graph bar, and it lights up the amount at which you're flexing. So, like, the little bars will kind of, like, light up back and forth as you, like, flex the muscle that is attached to the board. In theory, that's how it's supposed to work. And again, that's the whatever this is, if you're interested in looking it up. I haven't really tested it out yet. It looks easy enough to use, but everyone that tested it out was using the bicep, which was kind of an obvious muscle to use, because you flex that and it does muscly stuff. It's like the most stereotypical muscle cluster that everyone references when they talk about muscles. But something in the face, I don't know if that's going to necessarily work as good or if I'm going to run into complications. Mark's back! Look at what I made.
I got.
Ooh, Mark made his.
It took me only 3 hours to make passport photos at my mom's house because first I had to get all the viruses off of her computer.
That's what we thought. Everyone was taking bets on that. Mark survived.
I think I only have like a 40 gig left on the drive, so that makes it run slow. And I'm like, well, I can't help that. So, yeah, I'm like, I feel raped. You know that feeling?
Get in the shower.
You know that feeling?
The rape shower
yes.
feeling.
All right, so I don't hear Tony's breathing anymore. We forgot to put the nose holes in there.
He's got.
There's a beer hole.
There's a beer hole.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all he needs.
Breathing up that beer.
Vigray says excited raptor mask, or just excited raptor.
Are you going to do the eyes, or is that it?
I might put a little bit more support structure.
More.
Yeah, but I have to cut smaller pieces. I haven't done that yet.
It's looking good. I sure hope that comes off your ear hair.
He had one hair on the top of his head.
Boink.
I pulled it out. But
Oh, you still left it.
he asked me to kill it. I pulled out the last soul piece. Look.
Aw, you missed a spot.
Do you see it?
Yeah, that's amazing. That little sucker was going to evolve. It was surviving.
It was surviving.
It's going to be the one hair that will evolve.
Woven says we miss a lot of expression by being human skin bags. This sounds like the way to overcome those limitations. Yes, yes.
No smiling.
Mechanical.
Unless you want to smile in the mask, it would be more comfortable. Sorry.
Mechanical augmentations that extend our capacity to express ourselves are the best. I just used a bunch of big words. Doable. Yes. 9 o'clock wine and web server development. Hell yeah. Do you buy box wine, Vi, or do you get the bottles? Because I know Mark and I get the black, I mentioned this like 2 seconds ago, but we get the black box Merlot, which is like, what, like $16? Mark's going to show it to you. He's walking over with the box of wine right now. You can show it to that camera right there.
Black box Merlot. This is actually pretty good wine.
It's the juice box of choice. Wow, that's sticky.
And it's, if you look around, it's $16 a box, which makes, and there's 4 bottles in here, so $4 wine. Really good $4 wine. So,
if you're interested in that.
If you're interested in drinking.
Would you?
It'll fuck you up.
I'm gonna have a second beer. Mark, would you like a beer?
I'm gonna start drinking now.
Okay.
You want me to start like cutting strips?
Yes, I've totally seen the scales and the skin and the spikes that they're 3D printing directly onto fabric. Neat shit. It's actually kind of an interesting thing to potentially look into. Alright, I'm gonna cut more of this strip. Not that anyone needs to see that. Ginus. Mark, do you remember when I did this to you?
Yes, I do. Right in that spot.
I should probably put that in the description of the video. We actually
videoed that. It's on your YouTube somewhere, isn't it?
On not my YouTube, our YouTube.
Oh, SMB Freaky.
Mark and I have a secret YouTube channel from like a long time ago when we were like
younger and wilder
and
back in my 40s.
Yes. We have podcasts of us doing strange things, and one of the strange things that we did one night was cast his face, except his mask didn't come off him as easily because he has hair.
Yeah, that was
interesting.
Painful.
So we spent like a good half an hour trying to get the mask off of his hairline, and I felt terrible because I was like, hey, let's cast your face. It'll be fun. And I think Jeff was like, it's still alive or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, it'll be fun, and then we can make a mask and dance around in the backyard like
trying to get to the emergency room if anything goes wrong.
Those are the best slumber parties. That's when the rape room had a bed. Do you remember those days?
Yes.
Do you want to grab me another beer?
Oh, sure.
And lime. Will you lime me? Alright, I'm cutting more gauze for the second round on the second load for Tony's face.
Where's the penis?
Where's the penis?
Oh, it's in the bottom.
Okay. Tony, how are you feeling? You okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you survive this, I have the donut patch for you. So, should I tell them your stripper name?
No.
Do you want to tell them your stripper name? Okay. He isn't fine. Aw. Then I will not. I will respect your wishes. I don't think I have a stripper name. Mark, what's my stripper name?
Polish Raptor. I don't know.
You should get on camera here, Mr.
Rigid Rap. Yes.
Rigid Rap.
Wrap your dog. Like, does anybody see this? Like,
yes.
There's a dog.
There's a
on
terrier
here.
on there, and it doesn't
Like,
look happy.
it implies that you would
Cast your dog.
hold your dog still, put Vaseline all over it, and hope that you get something that kind of looks like this, because this doesn't look like a terrier.
See, you're making the assumption that the dog is alive.
Oh. Thank you for that correction, Tony. You're right. So you just got to get it to look lively for an hour, and then it'll harden.
It's for the remembrance.
Isn't
of
that
the dog.
rigor wrap?
This is what they did to mummies, remember?
Yes.
I say remember like you were in ancient Egypt when but they kept the body underneath the rigid wrap.
That poor bunny rabbit.
Oh god. It's being gagged.
It's struggling.
It's being gagged.
It's struggling. You're just holding this. Hold the bunny.
The bunny's
We're
like,
almost done.
I do not consent.
I really hope that actually is all like Photoshop.
I like that it just says fun.
Yes. I was commenting on that when I took the picture. I was like, it just says fun.
Oh, it's easy on the other. Easy.
Easy.
You should cut these out and just
Fun.
make badges on them
Oh,
and
yeah.
put them on your shirt.
I am. I'm gonna put them on my sketchbook that I just bought today. I bought this really great sketchbook that has gray. All the pages are like a 50% gray, which is great for drawing. If anyone's ever taken like a big kid art class, you know, toned paper's the shit. I mean, I personally believe it is. Tony, have you ever drawn on toned paper with white pencils and black pencils before?
I've barely drawn on white paper with black pencils.
I should give you my sketchbook so that you
You
can...
did that, right?
What?
I'll tell you the story. That was in
Oh.
Nope, you didn't.
That's not how I've ever done it, and it's always been okay.
What could possibly go wrong with not reading the instructions?
There's no instructions for face casting. You just go with the flow.
That's your beer.
That's my
You
beer.
drink your beer, then I drink mine.
Mark's in his element.
That bad of a day.
He spent the last was that 2 hours at your parents'?
Yeah, I went over there, and then the computer was like running obnoxiously slow, and then I'm like, well, let me go Google like getting this particular piece of what I thought was malware off the computer. Oh, you know what shows up? Not the Google search engine, but some font trackmyairflaneflights.com powered by Google, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, you already have some malware on your search engine selection, and I know I put it back like a month ago. So
was the internet browser full of toolbars?
no, the Safari doesn't do that. They don't do toolbars. But yeah, that's a
Yeah.
Every time I go back to my family's place.
So being a little bit of a hacker, I know one trick is if you go into library application support on a Mac in the terminal, you can just remove stuff you know doesn't belong there. And so I sorted by date, and I found stuff from 2013, 2012, and I just went up from the oldest to the newest of stuff I knew was not Apple shit, and just deleted those folders. I didn't even bother putting them in the trash. They're just gone.
Okay.
And the computer didn't crash, so I probably did okay. And I got rid of stuff because these malware hide stuff in those folders. So I think I got it.
I redid my build blog, the theme of my build blog. So if anyone's ever been to robotic arts, like .zonus.com, yes, robotic arts. That's like where all my build blogs are. I redid the theme, and it looks really super nice. Like I'm very happy with the way it turned out. However, it's one of the themes that uses the featured image, and since I never set featured images for any of my posts for the past 6 years,
You had to go back through and
no, I can't because those pictures aren't on my computer anymore because they're that old. So there are plugins that they make that supposedly alleviate this by taking the first picture in every post and like automatically setting that as your featured image. Great. All of them are out of date, so I can't find one that actually is like cited as working with the latest version of WordPress. So where my blog looks really nice, like on the main page when you scroll through all of the little like teasers, it's just text. There's no images. And that's problematic. So I need to figure out a way to fix that like in the near future.
All right, I have a question regarding mask making.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you're cutting a ton of this stuff
Yes.
So after about, like, you have 1 or 2 layers there, why would maybe 1 or 2 more layers not be sufficient?
That is enough.
Because you've made very heavy masks in the past, so why?
All right, so
why does it need more than about 1/8 of an inch of plaster?
I'm doing 2 layers. This is 1 layer,
Okay.
and I cut about this much. It was like a stack about this high to show everybody.
But why can't you peel that off right now? If it's dry, wouldn't it be kind of stiff enough?
No.
At what point can you just peel it off and then add more on later if you want?
This will deform if I pop it off too easily,
right?
Which is what I don't want.
Okay.
I want it to.
But it seems like 1 more layer would do it.
I am doing 1 more layer, and that's it.
That's a lot of plaster for 1 more layer.
This is 1 more layer.
Really?
Yes, this is 1 more layer of his face. So.
Okay.
Let me answer your question. I'm doing 2 layers of plaster of this stuff, and it's enough once it dries that it won't deform when he goes to pull it off, but I can still tweak it slightly because it does tend to like want to curl in and shrink. I can like stretch it out and kind of like
so there's
widen
still a
it.
little bit of malleability when you pull it off. It's
Yes.
not actually hardened.
No, there's a sweet spot that
And
I'm
you
going
really
for.
don't want to do that because you do want to tweak it?
Yes, because I have to fit those sensors.
You have to open it up a little bit.
So yeah, I have to have some extra space on the inside to mount the sensors in, and then put padding around the sensors so that it's flush when he puts it on, and he can't actually feel like a fucking lump, like nodule, like in his head, pressing down on his muscle.
All right, I'll buy that for $1.
Okay. Yeah. All right, we're gonna. We don't have to glaze Tony again, but I am going to start into the next layer of his glaze.
So the X thing definitely would have covered the nose gap he has.
Well, I'll do another. I'll do it.
Just, I think if the audience is better.
Mark's here.
I'm going to go in
Telling
my
me.
room and work on Delta robots or something.
Do you want to keep me company?
Not really. I've been at my mom's house for 2 hours. I kind of want to be alone.
Aww. You need
I have to find my happy place. Uh-oh, they're just wrecking it.
the camera.
Can I take the chicken with me?
No. There.
Uh-oh, it's chicken time!
Oh, I didn't do the thing.
With a really stable compressor. It's like you're murdering this chicken.
This guy's name's Gimpy.
You know what the sad thing about that is?
What?
You haven't even seen the movie.
I know. I'm a bad girl.
She has not watched the movie.
That's from a movie?
Yes. From Moana.
See, he doesn't know either.
Really good film. But
I'm kind of the person that you would expect to not know that stuff.
I almost wasn't going to buy that for her because she hasn't seen the movie, and it's like, you shouldn't own things from movies you don't know.
I like appropriating things, and I think there's nothing wrong with a little bit of.
There's some context.
I like birds.
And you would love that character in the movie. I'm just saying.
Hello, Thomas.
Let's do Moana night.
I need the ask toolbar. Oh, I have that same. I'm poking my nose in. Yellow tie wine? Wait, yellowtail wine. Sorry. Yellow tie wine. Like,
whoa! Now they just pee in a bottle, but
That sounds like a fun night, though.
goes with curry.
sorry. Yellow. I like yellowtail wine too.
That's,
I know what you're
Thai
talking
curry is essentially yellow Thai wine. It is ambrosia.
I saw yellow. Yeah, that's what I saw. It's curry in a bottle. All right, Tony, are you ready for it?
Curry
I'm gonna make-
in a bottle.
I'm gonna make an X on your face, like Mark suggested. Oh, I don't know.
Did you grease his eyelashes?
Yes.
Okay.
I had him grease his lashers. All right, I'm gonna very gently kind of.
Yeah, we don't want you to look like that guy from Smashing Pumpkins or anything. So, anyways.
I think it matters. I work alone in a windowless box. Nobody will fucking notice.
No, we don't want us to look something.
Okay, now it's getting weird. I'm gonna need.
Aw, it's okay. Yeah. It's so sticky. All her neurons are like angry.
Someone's poking my eyes.
Yes. There. He has X face now, like Mark. He has X nose. Okay. Silky smooth, Tony. You're a silky smooth ox. That's the way we like our oxes. You have such supple eyelashes. That's good. Every ox has its thorns. It's true. Mark, come back. No. He ran away. That makes me sad. Okay, so this is the final layer of... This is the final layer of Tony's face. I'm going to try and build up a little bit more structure around the eye holes, because that's one of the places where it's going to want to. So he starts trying to rip this off of his flesh. Yeah. What is worse, having paint all over your face? Or...
Probably this.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So we still have to go back to the theater one more night and clean up our mess because we still have masking tape on the walls from when we did our paint cannon mess making. I guess in various places over the past year that we did it. So we have to go and be the cleanup crew. I think when I first made mine... Oh wait, I was going to put my mask on and do him. Should I put my mask on and do
let's just...
Should I? It's fun. It's more theatrical. Guys, should I put the mask on while I do this? The big, big, big mask? Wait. Sounds like Sarah needs a new glasses prescription. Yes, I do. I don't know why you said that, but you were absolutely correct. I cannot see out of these fucking things. I am super blind. And they're not even that old. Is this going to be the mask itself or the core of a mold or something? Thomas, yes, this is just the base. I'm going to build up on top of this, but this is the bottommost layer that I can then, the structure I can put thickiness on top of. Yes. I'm going to put actual, proper goop plaster on top of this, my base, and I'm going to form it into the shape that I want, but the innermost layer needs to actually fit his face specifically because it needs to press the sensors that are going to go on the inside of the mask to his face, so it needs to actually fit him like a glove. Right, mister? Yeah? Yeah? Are you gonna be okay? I feel bad. You always look so dissatisfied. I get to do this to Mark eventually again. Should I stream that? Would you watch that?
I don't know, I'd probably have it in the background.
It'll happen eventually. I'm not quite sure what his mask would look like. Eye holes. Tony has eye holes. I guess while this dries, how about this? While this dries, before he pops this off of his face, I'll put the mask back on and wear it while we drink the rest of my second beer. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That way we can both have weird, awkward things on our faces. Yeah?
Mm.
Kind of like the scene from Ghost, but nothing like it. Mark.
What?
It's like the scene from Ghost, but like not at all. You're like my clay morsel sculpture. I'm like sculpting you with my raptor talon dew claws. I'm just like sinking my dew claws into your clay face and making art. I get to solder a million boards tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I have to ship all of the product that I sold like over the past like 3 days. Tomorrow. This means I have to actually complete the boards before I package them and send them out. But my goal for the day was to actually get them ready to go to be shipped out tomorrow. So after this is done, well, you're doing laundry, good sir. Yes? Yes, yes. I'm going to be soldering eyes. Do you want to take your eyes with you? So that you can play with them?
No, I need to clear off the electronics area before I can do that. Mm-hmm.
Alright, let me know when you're ready for them.
Alright.
Once there was a time. Oh, I hear babies. Do you hear them? Mark is repairing deltas in the other room. So we're exhibiting the Delta robot installation in another like couple of weeks at one of the libraries here in Las Vegas. But after the last time we exhibited them, like barely any of them survived. Like they just got their shit wrecked because while they idled on display, they wore like grooves in the potentiometer where they were resting. So over the period of 2 months while they were on exhibit, they just started shaking like violently, all of them. So there was 100 robots in the room just sort of twitching miserably. So Mark's writing a code that tells the Delta robots to rest at different positions so that it doesn't wear that same hole in the potentiometer. And I think I've mentioned this before, but this is kind of like the big thing that we have to do And it works. So it's just a matter now of going through all of the palettes and making sure that they're all reprogrammed, which takes time. But at least we don't have to replace motors, because that would suck and be very expensive. Mommy does not like true oven babies, because that means that they're injured. And I don't like it when children are injured. Right, clean.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. The ox mask.
Mm-hmm.
The ox god. Would that be like the god of labor?
Probably.
The ox god would be the god of labor. And the raptor god would be the god of... This is starting to look creepier, right guys? Does he look like Batman yet? Oh, Vigray says wear the mask. Shit. We're the non-articulated fluffy happiness. I should. I'll put it on as soon as I'm like done. It would probably be difficult to bend over like I'm doing right now wearing that. Nah, probably not. You can move in it fairly well. It's just, it like kills my neck after a little while. So your shower tonight's gonna feel extra good.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'm gonna go over your seam a little bit more so that it's reinforced and you don't have wobbly head. I'm gonna take this off. Have to go over his seam. Oh god. You know if I did this to Matt? I think I should. I think Matt needs a mask. I just don't like.
I don't see him being able to sit still this long.
He can sit still. He'd just be talking the whole time.
Mm-hmm. And moving.
Yeah. Not too bad. You are being a wonderful specimen. Thank you for sitting so still. Unavoidable purging. Unavoidable purging. I could even do zinc. Okay. At least relax, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a massage.
No.
No?
No.
I mean, you're being touched, right? That's like a massage. Yeah? I don't know, if I did this to Matt, I'd probably stream that too, just because he would not be able to really contain himself from talking or emoting the entire time, and it would be a wonder if like the mask actually set and be like a catastrophe. Right, I need to reinforce your eye holes just a little bit more. I'm gonna try not to
poke me in the eye.
No, poke your long, voluptuous eyelashes all that much. Actually, nowhere near your eye. You just have you have like eye tentacles, and they reach out and they want to sense the fact that I'm rubbing plaster like an inch from your face. Tony Starch. That's a good one. Lynn said Tony Starch. You win the internet today. You're Tony Starch. Tony. He's not gonna laugh. You're allowed to. It won't mess it up. Tony Starch. So, I don't know. You can twist the chair around if you need to face me, because I need to actually look at. I don't want you to get a cramp in your neck, but I need to actually like get all up in your shit for a minute. Because this is the end. This is like the money shot right here, kind of.
Chairs don't slide on your floor.
That's because everything in this kitchen is shit. You know that. Okay. Under the eyelashes, not on top of the eyelashes. Ox lashes. Okay. So I'm adding reinforcement like around your orbitals, like your eyes, so that they don't collapse once you pop this off.
Okay.
And then after that, I think
we'll let it dry for a little while, and then
it'll be good. You can pop it off as soon as you feel it. It's not like terribly cold anymore. Then or once you start moving your face, you're gonna feel it kind of naturally pull away from your skin, or it should, and then it'll kind of like pop off like skin, like snake skin. Like you're gonna peel out of your HeaD. Wait, I take that back. I've done Scott's face. I wasn't even. I never did anything with it though. It's still in my room, like someplace uncomfortable. And it's just the gauze. You wanted me to make him one of those psycho masks from Borderlands. What they were called? Psycho masks?
I don't know. But I think I remember that character.
They look like gas masks. Kind of, but they're white and they're strapped on them. He wanted one of those. So he talked me into casting a space for that. But it wasn't for anything like. It wasn't for Sarah art.
That's why you cast the face and never did anything with it.
Yeah. Is any area feel weak?
I don't think so.
Like or thinner? I'm just curious what you feel because it's on your face.
It all feels like a pretty consistent, chunk of.
And that's the only one I haven't done this week.
You didn't cast Taylor?
No.
Mm.
Her and I aren't like we haven't been like chummy close since we were in high school really. Or not early 20s maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I started doing this in college when I was in Chicago. I don't know if she let me do this. Just like climb onto your lap and start pushing. It's on you. I feel the baby suffering. The other thing is you don't necessarily have to have your eyes closed either.
Of course I have it. Whenever I feel anything coming near my eyes.
It's a good...
It's kept a lot of metal out of them.
It's a good response then.
Mm-hmm.
Seems thinner up here.
Mm-hmm. Haven't spent much time on it.
Right.
Like the top of my head ish. That whole area. It's been mostly with the face.
And we shall add more to temple because it's looking thin on the side of the nose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to make your sphere look spherical.
Mm.
Joshua asked, I know you. Joshua Dickerson has asked if you have a YouTube channel.
Yes, but there's nothing really on it.
He does, though. He does stuff in his shop occasionally, but hasn't in a while.
Mm. No.
Tony, what does Tony do? You should talk a little bit about yourself.
Just build stuff.
Tony's a machinist. And a mechanical engineer, although not like technical, like.
I don't have the piece of paper that says I'm an engineer, so I'm not an engineer. I'm just a technician.
He does mechanical engineering. Did I say technical engineering? He's a mechanical engineer. I'm sorry, I don't know what the hell words came out of my mouth. He does mechanical engineering type stuff, and then machines pieces of metal. It has helped me make quite a few parts for Noodle, which is why you are Sheep Daddy. Blood sacrifice.
Mm-hmm. I was bleeding over one of my tools last night pretty annoyingly, so.
No, what did you do?
I cut my thumb on a planer blade.
What was the thing that you wrapped up earlier?
Yeah.
I gave him some of the Nervous Raptor paper tape so he could keep himself from picking at his wounds.
It's one of those annoying things where you get like the paper cut depth that's just deep enough that it's not really a problem, but it bleeds like you wouldn't freaking believe.
That and head wounds.
Oh yeah.
Always bleed the most.
Mm-hmm.
Tony's helped me work on Noodle to the extent of like bleeding on Noodle's body parts in the process of helping me make them, and he's the only person who has that who made that bodily sacrifice to the Noodle Lord. Yeah?
Mm.
Like I haven't even, I don't think, bled on Noodle, but Tony has bled on Noodle. That was an accident. What the fuck are you doing again?
He's just filing some pieces.
Oh, that's right. I remember. Look bad.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that involves fingernail bleeding is scary. It's scary shit. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
You hanging in there?
Yep.
Yeah. You're like, give me a shot of brandy. Did you shoot brandy? You drink brandy.
No, scotch.
Scott. I know, but I mean, like, brandy. Do you shoot brandy or do you sip brandy? People, I know you drink scotch. You've done that. Slap you.
It's not like I would feel it.
It's true. You do have like a giant concrete like shield over your face. And just make my life harder because I'd have to fix whatever I slapped off of your face.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd be stuck here longer.
You probably just sip brandy.
Okay, sip brandy, just like you sip scotch. I know you drink scotch. In spite of wearing a thing that I just spent the past 2 hours putting on me.
So much plaster, you smack me and you break a finger.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Okay. You're getting there. There's light at the end of the tunnel. You're an egg. You're almost an egg. And we're gonna pop you out of your egg shell, and then I'm gonna take your shell that we shuck you out of, and I'm going to make a big marshmallow piece out of the thing. Is there any place that I haven't given a lot of time to from your perspective?
Not that I can feel.
Okay. What are you guys talking about in there? Josh says he has a lot of blood on the side of his projects. Ooh, Lord Grease is back. Tony looks like the Phantom of the Opera. Ha! Yes, you do. Aww. Yeah, you do. The Tony of the Opera.
Would it be the Phantom of the Machine Shop?
The Phantom of the Machine Shop is here. That was one of my favorite shows on the strip when I was growing up. When I was young. Hi there.
Hmm.
You're white.
Mm-hmm. That's what happens when you're Polish.
Yes. We are both the same shade of white, except you actually tan and I do not.
Mm-hmm.
Such tan I am with this body. I remember correctly, one of the weakest points of the mask is this seam right here. I have to decide how I'm gonna cordon this off later, but that's gonna.
Isn't it? Well, I mean, with most of your masks, don't they go a lot further, like forward?
Forward? What do you mean?
Like they don't stop as far back as this.
Kind of. I don't think they go back quite as far as what I just did to you. They were meant to. I think I tried to achieve that with mine, but it didn't work out that way. Mm-hmm.
Think we're doing all right?
Yep. Almost there. Getting antsy.
It's been a long time sitting here.
Do you need a sip of beer?
I did.
I did. Oh, the wine. I'm gonna fill in a hole like on the other side of your head.
Okay.
And then you hang in there.
Yep.
You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna make it through this, and you're gonna be a better person. Yeah. You're gonna walk around, and you're gonna have a new lease on life. It's gonna be like you survived this raptor, like climbing into your face with dirty fingers and breathing plague all over you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You look. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Should have Mark come back for the Mark hour. You can go home and rest. Hey, next weekend is my birthday, and we're gonna go and do a thing. Do you want to go? We're gonna go do a thing for my birthday next weekend.
Like your birthday specifically, or the other thing you were gonna do?
We're in it. That's just us.
Okay. What are you doing for your birthday?
I think on Friday, for French Toast Friday, we're going to go to the Pepper Mill.
Ah.
And get one of those really big, like bowling ball sized cocktails with ice cream in it, and I'm gonna drink the whole thing.
Okay.
And eat food. So that's what French Toast Friday will be. And then Saturday, we're going to do
The other thing.
the other thing.
Okay.
Other thing. My birthday. My birthday is on Sunday. My birthday's Sunday. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
When everyone's hungover, including us. That's my birthday. I think that's when I'm going out with my... Actually, I don't know what I'm doing on Sunday. I could be doing nothing for my actual birthday, because it's an uneventful day that no one likes. Doing anything. It's like, everyone's technically incredibly hungover. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
He's making sure things are relatively symmetrical. For now.
Okay.
I mean, it's not, but it's
Mm-hmm.
enough. Alright, I'm gonna use up the rest of some of this. There's a lot left.
Mm-hmm.
Is any...
Not really.
It's kind of lumpy over here, and I'm not quite sure why. I don't know if you have like lumpy face, or if I made you have lumpy face, but you have like a lump right here. Lumpy face.
That's right. You can like sand it down.
Yeah. Gotta reinforce the sides. You don't want to split your seam. Yeah? You know all about splitting seams. Alright, kids. You're a big boy now. This one, so that it lays flat on the table. Nice. So I feel like there's enough support right here.
Right where?
I can't remember where it is.
Yeah.
Should I remember it?
You could probably do one more.
An X or just straight up?
It's up to you. You are the structural engineer on this project.
Ah!
You determine when it is strong enough.
Nose X. Mark made me use it. Remember on mine, I just tried to create the straight line from the tip of the nose to the forehead from the get-go. So I just, the inside of my mask is hollow underneath the bridge of the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Because I cast it that way. Because when it dried, it didn't really matter. It was hard enough. It worked. Alright, eyebrow muscles, and then you can let that, whatever, cake or something. Okay. Structural technician. It's a dangerous title to give.
Mm-hmm. boxes make bad engineers. Okay.
I'm gonna wash my hands and put my mask on and drink my beer and we can chill. We can both chill. Your bib?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, as I said I would do, I will put my mask on and sit with Tony while he cures. That's over here, so I'm gonna go grab that real quick.
Uh-huh. Let's see if I can actually read chat.
That's my valve.
Wasn't designed for that.
It's okay. Wait, that's not the right thing.
No, that's the camera it's watching.
Here. Okay. Double camera?
Mm-hmm.
So, this thing's incredibly heavy. Between the fur that's hanging off of it all over, stitched into the seams, and the actual mask part that's actually my face with a bunch more like concrete smashed onto it, it weighs like it weighs about as much as a noodle. Like, it's like wearing noodle like on my head. You can start making facial expressions because it will help it purge when it's ready. Is it coming off?
Yes, my nose is free.
Yeah?
This was like holding it in one part is like,
It's just, see, if I were doing this for myself with the tickly nose that I have right now, I would be sneezing and coughing and ripping it off of my skin. There we go. I don't know if this will actually go on my eye face. There you go. I can't see shit, but this thing actually used to was cast from my face. There we go. Is Beast. Matt hated this thing. It reminded him of like some crazy thing from Poughkeepsie Tapes or something. Some murder mask. So.
It seems like something that would be in like an anime he would watch or something.
But yeah, so I have a I have several of these that I cast from my face. They all have different names and they all look slightly different. The mask part's roughly the same thing. It's like a white cracker that's kind of formed to my face, and all of the features are stripped away into this sort of like bird, pointy nosed, like Odo almost from Deep Space Nine-esque shape-shifty blob.
Mm-hmm.
And then I attach different things to the seam. I'm a fan of fur, but for the one that I'm making for this project, I'm going to make quills. So part of it is going to be like, it'll be mechanical, not in like a rigid sort of 3D printed sense, but I'm going to try and create 2 layers that shear against one another. The one on top will be responsible for forcing quills to either stand upright or lay flat. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to conform something that moves like that to a curved surface, or how I'm going to actuate it, because I don't want to have giant jowls hanging down from my mask with motors in them running some actuator. I'm not quite sure what would be ideal at this point, but I'm going to figure that out. That's another step to this. What I'm going to be working on right now, for the time being, is just casting Tony's face. Is it almost off? Oh, this is it. He's free. He has freed himself. Wow, did it pull it off?
Not really.
Oh wow. Yay!
It helps when you don't have hair.
He's free. He can be a free boy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? That's what you look like.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you don't know. Does it feel dry or?
Yeah, like, the inside was pretty dry.
Okay.
But now you can definitely see that, like, this
thinner parts,
like this section
didn't get as much
attention.
Okay.
Which is alright, because I figure you'll let this all dry.
Yeah.
And then start adding more where you want it.
So once that's dry, like completely dry, let me get you a towel. I'm gonna get him a towel. Is that the one that I gave you? Or no, that was your pen. Okay, yeah. Go for it. If you want to, you can go to the bathroom and use water, because there's quite a bit of drip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Time to go wash off. You can.
I'll hold the fort. So that's good. Zinc works pretty well as a release agent, like the Neosporin. If you don't have Vaseline, which I don't know why anyone wouldn't have Vaseline, you can get some of this, rub it on your face, make sure you put a lot of it in your eyebrows, and if you have hair like me, just bite the bullet and put a ton of this in your hair. Maybe even cover up your hair with like plastic wrap or something before you start adding the plaster strips, and then make sure you grease up the plastic wrap, because everything just needs to be as greasy and lubed up as possible. Yeah, and then afterwards, I think Mark mentioned the trick to getting the grease out is using Dawn dish soap to clean, like strip all the oils away from your hair, and then you can just kind of put them back in with conditioner or something. But it beats walking around looking like you haven't bathed for weeks, because that's definitely what putting Vaseline in your hair will do. Oh man, I can't see the chat from here because I don't have my glasses on. So I'm gonna kind of try and like do one of these. Oh, that works. Look at me. Yay, fuzzy mask! Haha. I can't unsee the phantom. Very menacing stare there, Tony. Aww. Aww. Turning Tony into a bird, obviously. Oh, I don't know. I think I'm going to turn Tony into I'm going to make him an ox mask. That's his nickname. He's the ox. So what's the final goal for this project? Cheese. To answer your question, I'm making a mask. I'm making a series of masks that respond to your facial movements. So if you make a facial expression, there's going to be muscle sensors on the inside of the mask that detect the the restriction of certain muscle groups and then affect something happening on the outside of the mask that indicates that like emotion. So it's basically going to facilitate in whoever wears the mask. It's gonna help them express themselves a level further. And I had mentioned earlier in the stream that I'm kind of jealous that my parrot can fluff up all of his feathers when he is excited to see me. Like all of his feathers poof. And I want to have that ability. So my mask is going to have quills that actually stand up kind of like a cockatoo or a parrot when I use certain muscles in my face. Particularly for me, I'm going to try and use the band on my forehead, like above my eyebrows, that constrict when you're surprised, so that my feathers will stand up when I'm excited or surprised or happy. And yeah, Tony always has a menacing stare. Lord Grease. Well, yeah, it does have an owl feeling to it. It is creepy though. I realize that it's like unnerving and kind of creepy looking, but I don't know. I'm okay with it. And it is very like witch doctory. Lord Grease mentioned that too. I kind of have a story, like a backstory for this mask in my head. When I was making it, I kind of created a lore for it. So I don't know if I'll ever write that or post it, but there's very much a witch doctor-esque backstory to this mask in my head brain. So I don't know, maybe I'll draw and publish that in the near future. Oh, Cheese asked what Tony Chan's is going to look like. Yeah? Should we discuss that? What your mask is going to look like?
That's up to you.
I know, but do you have any ideas?
Not really.
No?
Nope.
Alright, well, in that case, I'm not entirely sure yet, because I haven't even started, like, I don't know. I haven't even started drawing it or thinking about it, or... It needs to be ox-like. It's gonna be a bovine mask with probably horns, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah? I don't know. We'll see. What do you... Oh. Drying mask is looking more Batman-like. Oh. Does that not mess with your hair? Yes, it totally does. It will get stuck in your hair. Swimming caps is a good idea. Severe but elegant, not creepy.
Still need a shower.
Yeah, I need to. No, I just showered today. What am I talking about? So I'm gonna make one of these for. I think Mark's gonna get another mask that is active. I'm gonna make one for myself. Tony's is gonna be. Tony's the ox, so he's gonna get a ox mask. Mine will probably have plumage. Well, we'll have plumage. Definitely will have plumage. I'll have like raptor feathers that poof. I don't know what I'm gonna have Mark or Matt's do if I do choose to make one for Matt. At the very least, Mark. Wait.
Cheese, that's a whole different project.
Horns, what emotion would trigger that? You need to put the sensors someplace else. That's another project. Speaking of, yeah. Alex says good night. 4:13 a.m. already here, and tomorrow I have exams. Oh, no, go to sleep. Sleep well. Rest, and good luck on your exams tomorrow. Don't have nightmares of, like, creepy face or Batman head. Or do have those nightmares. They'd be good nightmares, if anything. TARDIS. But yeah, so the goal with this, I think I said this a couple of times, but I just want to restate what my intention is. Let me put these down. So now that I have this artifact of Tony's likeness, my goal is to finish coating the outside with plaster so that it's nice and strong, and then I'm going to make sure that the inside has enough extra space so that when I mount the sensors, and I can probably show these again. If these end up being the sensors that I'm using, which I'm not entirely convinced they will be. I haven't tested them yet, but there's these little pads that go on your muscle clusters. Once I hone in on the exact ones that I want to tap into, and the wires that go along with it, I need to find a way to mount all of this flush within the inside of the mask, so if he has it on, it's not like just digging into his like head meat, because there is like a slight thickness to these with the snaps, and I want to make sure that that is sort of seamless with the interior of the face, the part that's making contact with his like head meat. So that's the goal with now that I have this, and I'm gonna work on that first. So probably like during another session, if I can test it out on myself without shaving, testing it. If I can test it out on myself, like test these, putting these on my head without shaving large portions of my hair off, then I will. But if not, then the next time I have you around at my disposal, I'll feed you. I'd sedate you with a couple more beers and then stick the dots to you and make you make facial expressions. You should try and, Tony, give me a surprise and just tell me if you can feel the muscles like right here doing the thing, because like from my research, like right here above your eyebrows, that's like the muscle cluster in question that would.
I don't feel like muscles there moving. I feel muscles in the back of my head moving.
Those are the other ones that they cited.
So, I don't know.
It's like here and here are the ones responsible for the surprised facial movement.
Okay.
But I don't think that would be what I would use to trigger your mask's response. What would horns do?
I don't know. This is all stuff you have to figure out.
Okay.
I just sat here for 2 hours and let you put shit on my face.
Yes, your work's done?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'll figure out the rest. I don't know. I kind of have an idea what I'm going to do, but it's like this amalgam in my head of like abstractions and I need to solidify overnight. But I know, I don't know. I need to test the sensors and make sure that they work the way that I expect, because I think, what was it, 4 days ago, I soldered up those temperature sensors, the thermistors, and they didn't work at all. And I mentioned that in my last stream, but the body temperature sensing things I bought from SparkFun don't work the way that they're kind of, I guess, advertised or alluded to. They're lily pad thermometers, but they sense a range of temperature that's way larger than like the discrete bodily temperature shifts that you would detect like on skin, so or around skin. So they didn't really work for what I wanted to use them, but that's okay. This is digging into my valves.
I think we should call it a night.
Yeah, are you done?
Yeah.
Alright, cheers. But let me check out what you guys are saying there. Yes, it is a Maker Faire robot on our fridge. Yes. We've done many a Maker Faire, but not in the past year or so. And I don't think we're doing it this year either. And a TARDIS. And a Darwin fridge magnet. Oh, everyone's noticing the creepy stuff we have on the fridge?
All the stuff that was hidden behind me?
Yes. That's all of Mark's cool stuff. But yeah, I guess now that, I mean, do you want to show off your beauty? Now that this has been done, it's been like about 2 hours. I don't know. I guess I can say at some point this coming week. Probably not tomorrow, because I have to do responsible things and get my product shipped tomorrow. I'm gonna move to the next step, which is going to be again a day of playing with the sensors. So that's what's next. And I'll draw a comic page or something. Yeah. But thank you for keeping me company and hearing about the new thing that I'm starting to make and watching Tony get tortured. Like, was that torture?
Yeah, not really.
Okay. I'm watching him get plastered, but not the fun kind of plastered.
No, not the fun kind of plastered.
Like the But you're stuck at Raptors on a Sunday, sort of plastered. That's not even true. But anyhow, head face mask, face head mask. All right, guys. So yes, this is gonna have sensors in it, and it's gonna look more along the lines of something kind of like this stone-like, less feature having sort of thing, and it's gonna be in the likely, what's the word? The likeness of a horned creature. Come on, smile. So cheer up. Come on. It's okay. You're fine until the camera turned on, and then the sadness ensued, like sunk over you like a veil of, it's like artificial, subdued behavior. Come on, show your other expression. There you go. Perfect. Okay, I'm satisfied. He smiled. Okay, but I don't know. I'm gonna be on my Discord for the rest of the night because I have to solder a bunch of eyes, like all my anthropomorph eyes that I sold. I have to make them and ship them, so I'll be doing that for the rest of the night. If you're in my Discord, I'll post the link real quick so that if you want to hang out with us, you can. I'll be there. If you've never hung out with us before, a bunch of cool people talking about the stuff that they make and other random things that have nothing to do with making. Totally keep us company. But yeah, until the next time I do whatever, I don't know, keep making awesome stuff out there. Check out, what should people look at? Oh yeah, go to zoness.com, ZONESS.com. That's my website, and click on the little link that says robotic arts. That's my blog, my build blog, where I document all the stuff that I make. I redid it. It's nice. Look at it and bask in its prettiness. And if you know how to set featured images on WordPress automatically to the first image in the post, tell me, because I wasn't able to figure that out from the internet, and it's making me sad, and it's like the bane on my life right now. But yeah. I don't know. Take care, guys. And thank you for hanging out with me again. And thank you for letting me get you all messy and slicked up. All right.
Now time for a shower.
Time for a shower and time for me to finish this beer. So cheers, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night and enjoy your Monday, going into Monday. Yeah. I'm off. I'm off. I'm gonna go see what Mark's doing.